Hello, 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 and welcome. This is Marcus Lowe. I'll be your host today for the New Age Rich Aspire to Inspire segment. And the segment is really meant to highlight individuals that are demonstrating the ideals behind New Age Rich, which are pursuing your passion, not just a paycheck, and living without fear or regret. This is meant to promote the entrepreneurial spirit in our cohorts. You see, our generation is filled with people who have so many bright ideas, unused talents, and untapped potential. But more times than not, we end up spending our childhood years in schools learning about the lives of others, and our adult years learning how to build the dreams of others while deferring our own. We are rarely shown how building our own brand and working to create our own vision, our own dream, can lead to just as good, if not a better, life in general. So if we're able to demonstrate that our peers are successful in independent ventures, perhaps we can inspire others to do the same. In other words, we like to create positive peer pressure. Today I have a very, very, very special guest for you guys, with Mr. Andre Mitchell II out of Cedar Hill, Texas. Andre, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're coming through loud and clear.
Hey, man, awesome. Before you even get started, man, I definitely appreciate you for having me on. Definitely respect everything you got going, man. I look forward to reaching the top with you.
Definitely. I definitely appreciate that coming from you. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, the young man I have online today is running he's running more than 3 to 5 businesses at a time, and he's only 22 years old, So he is definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, the epitome of what we're trying to highlight in this segment. So without further ado, I'd just like to go ahead and dive right into our questions, if that's all right with you, Andre.
Hey, let's get it.
Sure, perfect. So as I mentioned before, I've been watching for a little while since I moved down to Texas. I've definitely been a fan of yours since I met you. But for those who aren't familiar with what you're doing, just briefly touch on the different businesses that you have going right now.
Hey, man, first, I'll definitely go into a couple of those. But first, man, I got to correct you, man. Nah, not a fan, you family, man. So I had to throw that in there. But man, I actually got a couple of different, I like to call them adventures that we have going right now. The first one is we have something called the Millionaire by 30 Club, which I'm just extremely, stoked and excited about, because basically what we do is we show individuals, between the ages of 18 and 24 how to join the industry of network marketing, and then actually take the money that they make in network marketing to start businesses of their own, to actually become a millionaire by the age of 30. Because the thing out here, another thing that I love that you said, you said positive peer pressure. And that's something that I would actually say that Millionaire by 30, does as well, because I believe one of the main reasons why we end up either where or where we don't want to be is because of the acquaintances that we associate ourselves with. And so, we have created that environment, where you can come in, we can talk and we can have fun, but at the same time, we can handle business and accomplish some of the goals and some of the dreams that we would like to see within our lifetime. And which one of them is, making $1 million, by the age of 30. My personal goal is to be making $5 million a month by the age of 32. And considering the fact that my birthday is next month and I turn 23, I'm like, shoot, I don't have too much time left. So that's what kind of keeps me on my toes and keeps me going. So even when I do want to quit, in one of my businesses, just because some may not be going right, or something like that, just keep me motivated and keep me going. So that's Millionaire by 30. And then one of my other major corporations I'm excited about, it's called Platinum Impressions Marketing Firm. And the reason why I'm so passionate about it is because, in this day and time, in this new age, everyone wants to be entrepreneurs. And it's an awesome thing because, if you really look back to some of our grandparents and great-grandparents, they didn't have the opportunities like we have. So considering the fact that so many of us, like myself as well as you, Mr. Lowe, are actually going out there and take advantage of these opportunities instead of just sitting down, and sitting on them, is definitely a blessing. So with Platinum Impressions, I actually have the opportunity to help those people, who's looking to jump into entrepreneurship, actually help them, when it comes to their marketing, as far as making sure their cards are straight and making sure their brand and their image looks good. Because I know, the old saying goes, don't judge a book by its cover. But unfortunately, in business, that's exactly what it is, because a lot of times what you see is what you get. So we want to make sure, that we make you look better than you really look right now, and to make sure that we're getting you on the track, to where you're trying to go.
Excellent. So the Millionaire by 30, you're helping young entrepreneurs build their dream using network marketing as a vehicle to transport them to their dreams, not necessarily the end-all, be-all, but definitely a vehicle. And then with the Platinum Impressions Marketing Firm, you're just helping, again, you're helping people build their brand, and that's at such a young age, as I said, for you to recognize that in order to get what you want, or you can get what you want quicker by helping other people get what they want. Is just
absolutely.
Yeah,
That's it. I like that.
Definitely. Well, I can't take credit for it. I got it from Zig Ziglar, so let's go ahead and put that in there before his people
look,
call.
I thought I heard that before. That's my brother right there. I love that dude.
No doubt. So you touched on the two businesses that you're running. Just what, if you could, just briefly, what inspired you to get involved in being an entrepreneur? Like I said, most people, they come out of high school, they go straight into college, and they start working, but you're on a different path, it seems like, from the beginning. So what kind of motivated you, inspired you, and steered you in that direction?
Actually, all that would have to go to my parents, because ever since I was, ever since I can remember, to be honest with you, I would say even ever since I was probably like 7 or 8 or whatnot, I always had some type of business going, because that's just the mindset that they had. And so, I always believe, like we talked about those acquaintances that you have, my parents were those positive influence and role models for me. So even like at the age of 8, that's when I actually started my first business, which is called Kids and Biz. And we sold gel candles. And it's so crazy, because now that's one of the other companies that we have. It actually evolved into this other company that I have called A-List Creations, where now we do all different type of bath and body products. But back to that story, that kind of really just taught us a lot about entrepreneurship and just really taking our life into our own hands. And a lot of times when a lot of kids was asking for Xboxes and PlayStations and Wii's and stuff like that for Christmas, I wanted Adobe Photoshop. And to be honest with you, that's one of the softwares I still use to this day to help grow my graphic design business. Another Christmas, I got a whole instead of gaming systems, where we got those too later on or whatnot, but we didn't really play them. But they gave me a whole photography studio. The next Christmas after that, I remember getting a snow cone machine, because I started selling snow cones. So it's like it was engraved in my mind since I was so small that hey, if I wanted, put it like this, if I wanted something, I got to have money, and in order to have money, you got to own a business to be selling something to make sure you bringing in that money to get what you want. And so ever since that day, it's like it just kind of made sense for me. I remember even when I graduated from high school, at that time I had been doing graphics for a while, and I actually got accepted into Full Sail University in Florida. They're like the number one college when it comes to graphics and media, period. And I had actually submitted my application. Everything went through fine, and I talked to the counselor, the lady that was there, and my main question that I had for them is, what all could I get? Not all what could I get, but when I leave here, what can I be looking towards? And she said, well, you know what? Most of our people who graduate here, they go and work for Pixar, which you all know that's like the number one, animation and media company, period. And so she was like, with them, if you get on with them, after you intern and stuff like that, and work your way up, you'll be looking to be making around probably 400, 500,000, a year, and that's if you do everything right. And you do make it to the top position pretty much. And I remember at that time, because she could tell I was passionate about what I did with graphics. So I told her, we were like, this is nothing new to me. We're already doing it. So I sent her over my portfolio and stuff at that time, and showed her. She was like, wow, you're already doing it. She was like, most people are just getting into it, but she was like, you really already got what a lot of people who are coming here to get. And at that point,
already.
Exactly. So and at that point, I also remember that tuition. I ain't gonna lie about that. I remember seeing that tuition, and I was like, that's my Lamborghini car note every month that I want. So I was like, I don't see that as just the best investment. And at that time, my business here in Dallas was actually kicking off when I say it was crazy, because even though I was only 17 when I graduated and was going through all of that entire process, I had multiple major corporations here in Dallas that were wanting to work with me, and I was working with them. And so that's why I actually decided, just be a business owner. When I actually do go to school, it's gonna be just because I just want to do it, not necessarily because I need to do it just to get a job. Because I've seen too many people, go down that road and go down that path. Not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I've seen too many people go down that path and end up to a destination that I'm not wanting to be on. Because like I just told you, she told me, Max, I'll be looking at $500,000 a year, and that's with me working pretty much all day, every day, not being able to spend any time with my kids when I decide to have it. I was like, wow, I can't see myself doing that when I actually see myself owning something like Disney World one day. When I'm looking to myself making $5 million a month by the age of 32, I can't be entertaining too much stuff that's just telling me, well, by the age of 36, I may be making $500,000 a year. So I would say that that's what really just pushed me from the beginning, to really the world of entrepreneurship. It was my parents, because I've seen them, as a living example. That's what they did, and we believe in our family. Wherever their parents stopped at and passed the torch over, we make sure it was at a better position. And when my parents actually passed that torch over to me, I got to make sure I take it to a whole another height, and I want my kids to do the same for me.
That's what's up right there. That's the epitome of family succession, so to speak. Taking it to that next level. And I know your parents are doing their thing still, so you got some work ahead of you. You got some work cut out.
I know it. Look, I'm reminded of that every day. Definitely. So, I mean, and what you just said in answer, you touched on a lot of key points, but one of the main things I want to touch on, just real quickly, you said you looked at tuition, and you looked at that debt that you would be looking at, yes.
It's funny, I talk to people every day, and they just, one of the things that they talk about, if I could go back, I may have approached school different. I may have not taken out as many loans, or I may have worked my way through college, or like you said, I may have deferred it, because nobody's saying not to go to school or not to get a good job.
Right.
You got to do what's right for you. And,
exactly.
I identify with that because, I mean, personally right now, I'm in a very abusive relationship with a woman by the name of Sally Mae. So I can definitely relate to that sentiment and that feeling that you were having. She never called me one time during my 4 years of school, but that day after I graduated, she sure did. She blew my phone right up, every month, So if you can't avoid that, definitely avoid that relationship. So, but let's move on. It seems like everything that you touch on is very it's family oriented. This is pretty much all you know. Your mind has been expanded, so you can't, like you said, Pixar was saying at one point maybe you could be making $500,000. Man, you talking about I want to be making that in a month, not in a year's salary, So your mind's been expanded to the point where it can't return, and that's amazing. That's what we're trying to push. That's the kind of culture that we would like to create and spread in this movement. So I'm definitely glad that that's you're a living, breathing, walking, talking result of that. So that's just beautiful to me. But moving on, so you say you went into business early on, maybe age 8, and you've been doing it now. So what would you say has been the hardest thing that you've had to deal with in starting a new venture or keeping your existing ventures going?
Man, I would say, what could I say? I would say the main thing will probably be balance. Because anyone that really just knows me knows that that's pretty much all I do is work, because I do know how serious I am about getting to that $5 million a month by the age of 32, and I do that so to the point where I do so much building that I don't actually I'll say it like this: I'll spend so much time investing in building my future that I don't live the life that I have now. And so I would say it is definitely the balance. That's one of the main things that I fight in this. And I would say, of course, that's me. so I'm the main thing that I have to fight, because man, sometimes it does get hard, because in business you do have to deal with a lot of pressure, and if you don't know how to deal with that pressure, it'll end up not physically killing you, but it can physically kill you too, but it can physically and mentally kill you, because sometimes it can be very stressful. But as long as you're keeping your eye on the prize and just making sure that you're keeping your health intact, and that's one thing that I had to make sure that I'm doing a lot more of now. So what I do is every morning, me and my Millionaire by 30 team, we actually go to the gym at 4:30 in the morning, and we hit the gym for 45 minutes to an hour then. And then now I even hit the football field at noon, the hottest time of the day, and I run 1,000 yards with my cousin that's an ex-NFL player. Just to make sure that I keep my body intact, because believe me, if you don't have your health, you don't have nothing, and you can't take care of anybody else. If you ain't in a position that you really need to be in, yourself.
Perfect. Yeah, health is your wealth. A lot of people work their health away, earning their wealth, and then spend their wealth trying to get their health back. So, no,
Exactly,
definitely got to have that balance. I agree with that.
Right. So I would say, Mr. Lowe, that's the main thing that I've been like fighting with. The tougher thing is, just that balance, trying to find time, for everything, and that really comes from something that I've just been learning the last couple of years is, being good at managing, being good, and that comes with being good with managing your time, as well as coming with, being good at managing your finances and your money, as well, because I'm the type of person. I'm not necessarily a control freak, but I like to be in control. And the first thing for somebody like me, you got to make sure you're in control of yourself. Because I know too many people that like to be in control, but it's of everybody else. So I make sure every day when I wake up in the morning, I write down everything that I have to do to balance my time. And I even go to the extent now, everything that I eat is tracked. Every penny that I spend is tracked. So at the end of the day, if I'm not to where I'm trying to get or I didn't meet, because I have daily goals in each one of my businesses of how much money I'm trying to make that day. So if I don't meet that, guess what? All I got to do is go back and inspect myself and inspect what I tracked and see, hey, if today didn't work, let me go back and see what didn't work. And if today did work, let me go back and see what I did differently today that I didn't do yesterday so I can do this every day in the rest of my life. So believe me, when it really comes, that's the main thing that I'm focusing with right now, and it's really just that balance, being able to have fun, but at the same time put in extra hard work to get to where I'm trying to go, because I believe in working hard now and playing later. I know it's a lot of people our age, do a lot of more partying, than it is with working and building, but I'm trying to get to the position where, by the age of 25, like 2 years from now, where I'm not necessarily retired because I've never had a job, but I don't have to work as hard within my own businesses because I have employees, because I have managers that I hired, because I have, people who I have put in certain positions to run my dreams, and so I want to make sure when that time comes, I can do that, and then I also have the time to actually spend with my kids. So I'm willing to sacrifice, some time now. I'm willing to sacrifice some money now. I'm willing to sacrifice some pain now, so I can get what I want, within the next, 4 or 5 years. And that's my mindset, and that's what I'm really battling with right now, and it's that balance.
That's good. I mean, like you said, it is a balance, but, at some point you got to sacrifice something. You either work hard now, you work hard later. Eventually you're going to have to work hard,
That's right.
So like I said, the choice is yours, and I like your mindset. Get it out the way now, so that way when you do party, it's a real party.
Exactly.
You partying,
Look,
you celebrating, right? You celebrating because you got it, rather than you trying to party because you hiding from Monday. That's the way I like to look at it as well. So I mean that's good. That's good. That's major. But okay, so let's move on. So that's how you kind of kept it going. With balance and holding yourself accountable. And I definitely say you got to fill your cup up first before you can pour anybody else's glass. So
that's right.
I agree with that. So. But many things don't happen in a vacuum, so your success or your failures aren't always entirely on you. So, normally we have a mentor or a coach or just somebody that you can reach out to and just, they can always depend, or you can always depend on them to keep it, 100% real with you, see your life, see your goals outside of yourself. So who do you have in your life that you would say serves as like a mentor or a coach or something like that?
I would definitely. I would have to say my parents. I would actually have to say my whole immediate family, and that goes from my mother Yolanda, my father Andre, my oldest sister Yvonne, and my youngest sister Yakira. And the reason why I say that is because pretty much all of the businesses that we own, we work together on. On pretty much everything. So we are literally out of a 24-hour day, we're probably together at least usually 8 to 10 of those hours, if not more than that. And so, we all hold each other accountable to what we're trying to do, and if I have a new idea, or something like that, a new venture or business that I'm getting ready to start, hey, I'll let them know, and they say, well, shoot, let me see the plan that you got for it. And once I show up for them, we say, well, hey, what can we do to bring all of our gifts and all of our talents together, to help us get there, get there even faster. And so my parents, they're definitely a back and forth on that. And then with my sisters, they're just really just there to just keep it real. They believe me, if you ever get in a room with us and the door is closed and the blinds are shut, I promise you, it's like it's a courtroom or something. It's crazy, but that's what we understand that's what we got to do, to make it happen. As long as at the end of the day, we don't let money take over, who we are, as people. It just helps all of us get to, where we're trying to go, even faster. And it really just, trickles down. Like I'm looking like at my 18-year-old sister. Matter of fact, next week, she's actually launching her makeup line called Iconically Created Cosmetics, and it was just phenomenal because the week before last, we was able to go to one of the major like high-end makeup shows or whatnot because we finally got all the ingredients and everything right, in her line. And, just looking at, her stepping into what she's doing, into even my younger sister, she has a couple of projects that she's getting ready to do. So I would say it was definitely my parents, and that has did like a ripple effect, between me and my sisters. And what's even more exciting about that, I already know for sure the same thing and the same ripple effect is what's going to happen, to our generations to come.
Right, no free rides in the Mitchell household, huh?
Not at all. So we got to pay that every day.
Working.
Every day.
Every day. So, Andre, man, taking it off the professional level, like you said, going back to the balance. So what do you do for fun? What is a fun day off from work look like for Andre Mitchell to say?
It's not a fun day off of work, to be honest with you, too, because when I tell you like all the businesses that I have, to Platinum Impressions, even to I have an event production company too called A-List Affairs. Everything, all of my businesses are stuff that I really love to do. And now we even we're launching our publishing company as well because I write songs and plays and stuff like that. So it's like everything that I absolutely love to do, now I actually get paid for doing it. And so, like a lot of people got hobbies, that they just do for fun and just do around the house. Now I actually get to do them on a large scale where, I get paid for it. Like one of the songs that me and my sister wrote, and that was one of the things I was just doing. Like for instance, I was writing that song, on a break from doing my graphics, just to get away for a second. And one of her songs, Window Pane, ended up because she's a recording artist. One of her songs, Window Pane, ended up going on the charts for the number 5th song in all of the UK. And so It's like even though we say, hey, well, what is is a fun day, without any work. With the mindset that I have, anything that I do, I guarantee you I'm going to find a way to make some money from it. And then because I love doing it so much, I'm able to do it as I'm really doing it unto the Lord, and then that's why people will pay you for
it. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. My unofficial mentor, Les Brown, he said definition of success is finding something you love to do and getting people to pay you for it. So
that's it.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all.
That's it. I'm with you on that one. That's the truth.
I'm not mad at that. But all right, that's what's up. It's self-explanatory. Okay, so a day off for you is to keep on making that money, pushing the dream forward. Fair enough.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I only have 2 more questions for you. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I know I'm not paying you for this interview, so I know my time is limited.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. Believe me, this is going to change many lives. So I appreciate you for what you're doing and the time that you're taking out to do this, because you could be doing anything else as well, but you actually decided to put this whole movement, New Age Rich, together. And believe me, I already know, hands down, no doubt, that it's going to definitely touch the world and impact the nation. So you definitely keep on doing what you're doing, and don't let nothing discourage you or distract you, from your goals and your visions, bro.
Hey, salute to you, man. Salute to you, Mr. Mitchell. So my last 2 questions, I guess the first one, going back a little bit to the beginning of our conversation and what we talked about, you touched on the Millionaire by 30, and that's basically you're bringing in your cohorts and your team members and showing them how network marketing, can be a vehicle to transport them to their dreams quicker. Network marketing oftentimes gets a bad rap in a lot of circles. It's taboo often in some conversations. Right. So just if you could just, help us dispel, I mean, I'll be 100% honest, I'm involved in the same network marketing company as you. I don't want to seem like it's a fake plug or anything like that. I'll be 100% honest. Just coming from your position, and because your family's been involved in network marketing their whole life, and it oftentimes gets a bad rap. And as you can see, it's working, obviously, for y'all. So if you could just touch on it, like why do you think it sometimes get a bad rap, and why have you chosen to make that your vehicle that you show people for your Millionaire by 30 Club?
Because it's an even playing field, and the reason why I say that, because this is really all the way true. One of the main reasons why I joined network marketing is because even before I joined the company that we're a part of, I already owned other companies. So it wasn't necessarily a money issue. It was at the same time because I still got other things that I want to do with the money that I'm making through the industry. But at the same time, a lot of people are saying, well, you know what, shoot, we didn't have snow cone machines at 10. We didn't have photography studios at 9. We didn't have Adobe Photoshop at 8. So we wasn't exposed to that. But I think the same thing that they was using to think the same excuse that they was using why they weren't successful, they don't have that in this company. So when I joined this industry, I was like, you know what? All excuses have been removed. All limits have been removed. All boundaries have been removed. And when you actually remove everything around you, at the end of the day, it's only going to be you standing there. Mm-hmm. So if you can actually join a company like we're a part of in network marketing and start at the bottom for number one, it's going to help you. If you don't have any business experience, guess what? You're going to get that business experience. For number two, if you don't have the money to actually start a top high-class business and an establishment, which is going to cost you a couple $100,000, guess what? You can do that for under $1,000 here in network marketing and then be building along the way. So, and really most of your capital is going to be your willingness to learn and actually get out there and network. So all excuses are pretty much removed. And then after you have really just mastered some of the basic fundamentals in network marketing, because I would tell anybody fast, even if I didn't make one penny in network marketing, which I have made a lot of money, but even if I didn't make anything, I would say the personal development that I have gotten along the way would have been worth the entire ride, you know, from the personal development as well as the people you get to hang around with. Because this may not be true for everyone, but I know for the most part, I would say 90% of people, if you actually get involved with a top-notch, multi-level marketing company, and you're actually, for number one, in the trenches, for number one, and then for number two, plugged in, you have $1 million income earners right there, you know, that's going to be coaching you and mentoring you along the way. And there's like no other industry like this where you're going to actually have people that's going to be rooting for you, going to be cheering for you and seeing what they can do to help you become successful. Because it's definitely not like that in corporate America, and it's definitely not like that, you know, and I would say most of the parts of the world, but that's what we're working on to change now. So that's why I would say that I actually chose network marketing to be that vehicle that helped people our age to accomplish that, because it's not literally not one excuse that you can find except the ones that you make yourself.
That's real talk. I don't need to add anything on top of that, you know, except for, you know, for those that don't know, I know you on your you knocking on the door, one of the pinnacle positions, right? Senior vice president.
It's a secret. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody.
All right. Hey,
like people betting against me, and I want to make sure I get that signature signed before we flip it over.
Hey, I hear you. Hey, like you said, man. Hey, everyone's cheering everyone on. You know.
Hey,
so
that's right.
I can't wait for the day to come for you to go ahead and hit it. You know. So
likewise.
Definitely. But let's go ahead. Let's wrap this up with my last question. I like to ask everyone the same question at the end. Just, you know, it's basically the point of the whole conversation. And, you know, here in the Aspire to Inspire segment, we just want to help people get off that fence, so to speak. You know, a lot of people, you know, they live with their 1 foot in the past. Like, if I would have done this different, things would be different. And 1 foot in the future, you know, like when I get to this point, such and such is going to happen. But, you know, like you said, it comes down to you taking action right now. You know, neither the past nor the future you can affect without taking action right now. You know,
right,
so what?
Right.
Just one piece of advice or insight that you would have just to help those that are on the fence, you know, like they want to make that jump into pursuing their own thing, not necessarily quit their job or nothing like that. We're not promoting that, but, you know, just to take that first step and realizing and building their dreams. What kind of advice do you have for those type of people that are, you know, they got one toe in the water, they just need to go ahead and jump in?
What I would say to that person is, and matter of fact, I'm gonna take about 2-3 more minutes on this question,
okay.
And because it's gonna take me back to something else that I really wanted to say earlier. You know, a lot of people, you know, ask, you know, hey, well, what, you know, really makes, you know, especially, you know, entrepreneurship and even the industry of network marketing worth it. And one thing that I would say is, besides my Millionaire by 30 team, a majority of my team are older, and it's even to the extent where I even have like individuals on my team that are over the age of 80. And I would say that this one encounter right here, this is also one of the things that keeps me pushing and keeps me going, because I remember we were doing a business opportunity meeting at one of my business partners' house, and it was a lot of older women in the room. And keep in mind, like I said, they're in their late 70s and 80s, so you can imagine they don't just have children, they got grandchildren and great grandchildren, and some of them great great grandchildren. But what really just stuck out to me at the end of the thing, every single one of those individuals, when we asked who's ready to make the leap, into entrepreneurship and make it happen, all of those individuals raised their hand. And, and it just really just stood out to me, how big of an impact we were making. And I even went to the extent to ask them, really why. Because I'm like, not saying that they don't still have a long life to live or anything like that, but I wanted to know what really just made it be like a no-brainer to them versus people that's our age, who still want to think on it and overthinking and all this crazy type of stuff. But I remember all of them, most of them had retired 2 or 3 times, and still at Walmart handing out the little yellow stickers with smiley faces to the kids at the door at Walmart, and having to stand on their feet even though they got ankle problems and weight problems and all type of stuff. But they understand that that's what they have to do in order to make it. And so when I was talking to them, and, they were saying, and they were pretty much basically telling me their story and telling me how they didn't have the opportunities that we have today. When it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to network marketing, most of the things that we have just at our disposal and at our fingertips now, our people were getting killed just for trying to pick up a book. Now imagine we got laptops, like literally as I'm sitting right here right now, I got a laptop in front of me. I got my iPad. I got my cell phone going. Then I got another computer that's hooked up to my 62-inch that I'm looking at too, because I'm doing a couple of things. So they didn't have, I would say, even like 1% of the opportunities that we have. So I would say, if you just really just ask your grandparents and your great parents, and even if those they may be past, ask someone older. If what were some of the changes that they would make, or even if they had the opportunity, I guarantee you the same position that they may be sitting on, which is on that fence, that older person would tell them to jump off of it, because if they don't jump off of it, they're going to end up in a worse situation than that older person is. And those are really the people who keep me going, every day. They'll call me and they'll say, well, I don't know how to work these computers, so can you put this in for me, or can you do this? And, and I just be smiling and I'll be laughing because when I look at them, even though, they're like so grateful, for me and everything that I do for them, they have no idea, they had no idea until I told them, exactly how much they meant to me, and what just them being them allowed, me to push even harder, even when you may want to quit, because there are going to be times that even myself, I really say that there really are no times that I want to quit, and that's because I don't know what it is. That's just because that's just me. Because I'm just so serious about what I want. So like quitting is like literally like not an option. But at those times where I will say this, where I may just want to stop working for the day and just quit for that day. I just think about them, and even if they just had just one day of a whole lifetime that we have now, how much that would have changed their lives. And so we just got to make sure that for number one, we don't quit. And then for number two, we just keep our integrity, with people, because one of the other myths about, people with money, especially young people in business, we think that we got to con people over, in order to make it to where we want to go or to get to what we want. But that's not the case at all, because when you really understand business, your integrity is what's going to really take you all the way. Because networking, whether you're networking, marketing or not, is definitely what you're going to have to do to make it happen. And so make sure you just keep that integrity right. Just never quit. That's what I would say. Just never quit and keep going, even when you think you want to stop. Like I know, like sometimes even when like I'm in the gym and one of my brother's business partners there, he said, "Nah, you can do it. Just go ahead and do one more." Then I'll say, "Well, hey, I'm about to put it up here, hang it up here." Then he said, "Go ahead and do one more." And then next thing I know, I'm like, "Shoot, I done did 10 more." And if I was just done myself, I would have gave up on that one more, because I had other people pushing me, other people cheering me on, and other people encouraging me. It was able to push me to heights that I didn't even think were possible for me. So I would say don't quit.
That's real. I mean, again, I don't have anything to add on to that. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Andre Mitchell, millionaire by 30, age 22. So 8 more years, I think. I don't know about you, but I think he's going to be all right. I think he's going to hit his deadline. And I just definitely want to again thank you for taking the time out to do this for me, Andre. Like I know you're already late for another call and everything, so I definitely appreciate your time and the knowledge that you dropped on me today.
Nah, man, I appreciate you. You definitely, like I said earlier in the call, definitely keep on doing what you're doing. And believe me, everything, that you not only want for you and your family, but for your kids, all is going to be fulfilled by just from the things that you starting today, man. So keep planting them seeds, and your harvest will come to pass, bro.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm gonna be tapping you for some information, man. Definitely. So
hey, let's do it. Let's do it. The more the merrier.
Definitely. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That is our segment, our Aspire to Inspire segment for the day. And just remember, don't die and unlive life. Decide to go for your dreams, and don't come back until you get it. That's all that matters. Thank you for tuning in. We hope to see you again next week.